Just getting started. My eyes on the target. No, no. You're the battles won till kingdom
All right, what is good, guys? It is John Fibonacci. All right, welcome to my YouTube channel. All right, today we're going to be going over the question, can someone trade with a full-time job? All right, so if you haven't done so already, please make sure to like the video and subscribe so that way you don't miss future content. All right, so let's get into it, guys. Can someone trade with a full-time job? All right. And I'll get a little bit into my story, you know, and kind of tell you how I was able to essentially do that. All right. Before we get started, this is not financial advice, and this information is for educational purposes only. Okay. What you need to do first is examine your current schedule. Right? List out your current 24-hour schedule on an hourly basis. How are you spending your time? Right? How much time do you spend sleeping, eating, studying, working out, working your job, watching television or Netflix, Hulu, whatever? Okay. This analysis will give us an idea on where we can potentially find time for trading or for studying the markets. Now, this also goes with anything else. You know, if you want to become a reader, you want to have time for reading more books, then you should be able to, you know, look at your schedule and essentially find time. Or if you can't find some time, you can always make time, right? You know, famous saying, everyone has the same 24 hours in a day. Right? So you really have to choose how to spend your time. So just make sure that you're spending your time wisely. All right. So here's a weekly planner that I ripped off of Google Images. Okay. Just to kind of give you an idea on what you can do. Right. So, you know, just make sure that you list out like what time you go to bed, what time you wake up, you know, shower, this, that, and the third. So if you can't put a schedule together, you know, based on your history, then just write down what you've been doing moving forward, right? Like what you're doing today, and then tomorrow, like wake up and start timing the things that you're doing to see if you're wasting time somewhere. All right. Now, this is the basis, right? This is some groundwork for what we're going to get into, right? Some of these details. So just to talk about myself briefly, I don't want to bore you to death, but you know, I'll give you my story, right? So I started to trade in early 2014, right? I didn't really know what I was doing, but I bought a penny stock. It happened to moon a few months later, made some pretty nice returns, okay? And that's pretty much what got me hooked into trading. Okay. So what happened was, being in the military, right? You have to be up early. You pretty much work from like the morning time to the afternoon, a lot of times into the evening time. You know, of course, it depends, you know, if you're on land, if you're at sea, yada, yada, yada. All right. We're not going to get too much into the details, but basically, I would get up around 5 a.m., 4:30 a.m., you know, be at work by 6, 6:15. And then we didn't really get home until around 4 in the afternoon. Okay. So now that time, right, from 4, maybe 4:30, and sometimes later, sometimes earlier, whatever. But on average, right, getting home around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay. So by that time, obviously, the market, you know, is pretty much done trading for the day. Stocks are closed, yada, yada. I was on the East Coast at the time, all right? So what I did from the time I got home until around midnight was pretty much my choice, right? So I spent a lot of that time studying the markets and also playing video games. All right, because I couldn't do too much of one thing. I had to go back and forth. Play video games till I got bored, and then hop on charts and learn until I got bored, and then there it is. All right, so from a timeline perspective, you did hear that correctly. Okay, I would study for a few hours every single day, and what I did was sacrifice a lot of sleep in order to do that. Now, I don't recommend that route. I pretty much started drinking Red Bulls every single day and energy drinks, this, that, and the third, and it wasn't really great for my health, but that's what I chose to do at the time. All right. And that's why I drink so many energy drinks now, because I'm used to it and I need the caffeine. Okay. But, sleep is probably the last thing you should look to sacrifice. And if you do sacrifice any of your sleep, then, I would still recommend sleeping at least 6 to 7 hours per night. All right. I was sleeping less than that, and it's not healthy for a human being to do that. Okay. But I can't go back and change the past. All right. That's what I did. So there it is. Laid it out for you. Okay. So make sure to prioritize your life. This is very, very important. Okay. Family first. Make sure your family and bills are taken care of before you consider trading. And do not use money needed for your lifestyle in trading. Okay? If you are making ends meet, to make sure that the bills are getting paid and stuff like that, then you might not be able to get into trading right away, and you may have to, save up money for an account and things like that. So please, guys, please do not screw this part up. All right. And even just to give you a little bit more detail, is it will be extremely difficult to focus and give your best efforts to anything, especially trading, if your personal life is struggling. Okay, so if you're struggling to pay bills, stay afloat, not lose your house, things like that, or electricity, water, or food, stuff like that. If you're not good there, then it's pretty much impossible to give effort on learning new things, because you're not going to be able to focus, right? If your personal life isn't together. Okay, so that's kind of the point there. So just make sure that you have a priority list. All right, and I'm not saying you gotta write this down or anything, but just to make things clear. Okay, number one is family. Always, guys, that's never going to change, right? Make sure your family is straight, happy, healthy, all of that. And then number two, making sure your bills are in order, your mortgage, electricity, food, water, gas, all of that and everything, car payment, whatever, if you've got that. And then after that, once all of that is taken care of, then you can maybe look into trading demo, or even learning to trade, or simply just studying the financial markets, right? So I don't want anyone to ever put trading above number one and number two, okay? I've seen it done. All right, so it's crazy that I had to bring it up, but I do. All right, so trading with a job, right? Because I was in the Navy, but I was still able to trade. But we're going to get into details now on how I was actually able to do that. All right. People with regular jobs, I don't expect to be constant day traders. It's important to do a good job at your workplace so you can maintain the job for income and support your family and bills, right? I used to check charts during break times or bathroom breaks, but remember, prioritize your job first if that's your primary source of income. Now, when I wrote this yesterday for this PowerPoint presentation, what I mean in that last sentence, or the last two sentences, I used to check charts during bathroom breaks or break times. That was when I was actually out of the military at that point. I had got a job for a little bit here in Houston as a forklift driver at Office Depot, right? Part-time, just to have something rolling in, even though I didn't really need it, but I wanted to do something, right? And so at the job, that's what I'm talking about. Little 15-minute breaks here and there, twice a day, and then obviously a 5-minute bathroom break. If you're in the bathroom, obviously you can, check charts for a minute or two. But I really don't recommend doing that, because, like I said, if your job is your primary source of income, you don't want to screw that up. Okay, so make sure that you are prioritizing your job. All right, if you need that to survive. Okay, I don't suggest just quitting your job or getting fired from your job to just get in and trade full time. I honestly don't recommend doing that. Okay, I really don't. So, the question, right? If I can't look at charts while at work, what can I do? If you can't be a day trader, right, looking at those 1 minute, 5 minute, 15-minute, 1 hour, even the 1 hour chart, right, you may have to look into swing trading, possibly using a higher time frame to trade from instead of using intraday charts. You may not be trading as actively as day traders, but you'll still be able to trade, which is better than nothing, right? So that's basically the answer that I give a lot of people. I've been asked this dozens and dozens of times, right? Is how can I trade if I have a job? And well, here's pretty much the best answer that I have for you. Is you may not be a day trader, right? That you may have to be a swing trader or even a position trader if you're into stocks or maybe some long-term options and things like that. So not the sexiest thing in the world, but it is better than nothing. Okay. So, in summary, here's what we talked about today, right? Schedule your day according to what you want the most. It doesn't have to be trading. It could be personal development, reading, working out, or maybe spending more time with your family, whatever, okay, whatever it may be. Number 2, always put your family and lifestyle before trading. Number 3, do your job well to keep your income. In other words, don't get fired for checking your trades while at work. All right, that's the last thing I want to hear is, oh, John, I checked my charts at my job and I got fired, right? I don't want to hear that, guys. I really don't. I want you to not lose your income, okay? Especially if it's my fault, all right? That's the last thing. I'm here to help, not to, bring down, okay? Number 4, if you don't have much time in the day to look at charts, consider using a higher time frame for your trading. So, daily time frame, 4-hour time frame that you should be able to look at charts at least once a day. I mean, everyone has to use the bathroom or at least get home, wind down for the day, or even eat dinner, eat lunch and stuff like that. And that's time to check charts, okay? So you don't have to sit here and act like you have to be in front of the charts for 5 hours a day, right? You don't have to do that, guys. You really don't. All right. I actually got in trouble in the Navy a lot for being on my phone all day, but it is what it is. I made mistakes. All right. I'm an imperfect man. Okay. But anyways, guys, so hopefully this has answered a lot of questions that some of you may have. If you have friends or family who are also wondering if they can trade while having a job, then feel free to send them this video if you think it is beneficial to them. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and shut it down here, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a blessed day, and I will see you in the next video.
They'll be calling me. They'll be calling